Let's begin with some COVID-19 related issues. Ghana is now experiencing more severe cases of COVID-19 at treatment centers across the country. Health experts say Ghanaians appear to have let their guards down as cases soar in spite of initial successes. Boshagabo brings us a situational report from the Ghana East Municipal and Greater Accra Regional Hospitals.
Ghana is beginning to witness a surge in COVID-19 cases. This has been attributed to people not adhering to COVID-19 safety protocols, especially during the festive season.
The Xmas and the New Year activities, people were not disciplined enough. You could see that there was no adherence to the protocols, no use of face mask, and clearly this disease is a disease about closeness. So if you are not adhering to the protocols and you are so close, they are going to share the infection.
What we had in 2020 was COVID 101. The 2021 COVID is proper COVID, and that's where most people are quite sick.
I'm back here at the Ghana East Municipal Hospital. Here, hospital beds were filled with patients, some struggling to breathe. Zion Sonu, not his real name, narrates how a simple social gathering during the Christmas festivities led him to the treatment center. How did you contract COVID-19?
A friend of mine contracted it, and we had no idea he got it. So that's how I picked it up from him. We had a small get-together, and that's how we got in close contact without enough social distancing. And that happened.
Was it during the festive season?
Yes, during the festive season. Well, it's real. I lost my friend. He passed away. I'm lucky to be here. It's very important that the COVID message is continued.
As at January 12, 59 people were on admission at the treatment center. There were 4 severe to critical cases and 12 patients at the high dependency unit of the hospital. 23 patients were on severe to moderate to high flow oxygen at the emergency room. The emergency room can accommodate 12 patients, but the hospital had to expand to accommodate the numbers. Ghana is currently recording a surge in COVID-19 cases. At the Ghana East Municipal Hospital, we have close to 60 persons who have contracted COVID-19. Now, persons who have contracted COVID-19 have a simple message to Ghanaians that we must strictly adhere to the COVID-19 safety protocols.
Those in the HDU, high dependency unit, and the emergency room, they are all community cases. If you know about the President's directive, those coming from the airports are brought here. But they usually have mild disease or they are asymptomatic, and they occupy the recovery area. But because we move them out, they are not a lot. So I would say about 70 to 80% of our patients are coming from the community. And yes, we've seen a significant rise. We're doing an average of about 3 new patients a day, 2-3 new patients a day over the past 2 months. But since 4th January, we are doing almost 10 new patients a day for inpatients alone. There are times we even see more, but then we manage them on outpatient basis and we let them go back home for home care. But we are seeing a lot more of ill patients now than we used to in the past.
The hospital is augmenting its staff strength to deal with the increase in new infections.
A number of patients we've had to ask not to come in because we are limited. It's not limited by bed space because yes, this is a 100-bed hospital. We can take 100 patients, but we are limited by human personnel, so it's a capacity issue. A lot is being done. We have about 27 new nurses who were brought in just yesterday to augment our strength. We are expecting about 7 new doctors to be brought in. 2 arrived today. We expect more to come in before the week ends.
The situation was not different at the Greater Accra Regional Hospital.
We are 8-bed capacity for COVID-positive patients. As we speak now, we have 5 patients who are severe to critical cases here. They are all on oxygen. Since we opened our ICU in October, we have been having a lot of patients here. In November alone, the 8 beds are almost full. We are getting more critical cases or severe cases being referred to Regional Hospital, because it's a designated area for COVID ICU.
So far from March till now, we've had about 36 deaths in Ridge Hospital alone, March last year to date. We are having more severe cases coming in to the hospital. And so the advice is to maintain the COVID-19 protocols. I think we have relaxed on the protocols, the safety protocols.
Healthcare workers and persons who have contracted COVID-19 want the public to wear their face mask and strictly adhere to the safety protocols, as the numbers are now turning to people closer to us. Portia Gabo, TV3 News, Accra.
And for medical experts, the surge in COVID cases in Ghana suggests many people are no longer adhering to the safety protocols. However, there are still others who also maintain the virus is just a hoax, just because none of their closest relatives nor friends have been infected. Komladum has been assessing adherence to the face masks wearing protocols in parts of the capital, Accra.
It's another day at the Medina market here in Accra. 36-year-old Obo Edum and his friend Nana Kobi, both shoe vendors, are calling out to passers-by, obviously without masks. Despite Ghana's COVID death count crossing the 330 mark, Obo doubts any such virus exists.
And I mean, who will be a Binsuano, although Omuchan with TV some year shady. But I physically need a mean who will be a Yareni be a day, Achino, and I see Yareni be a Kuno. And Tiarena dear, fine Omu body, by to me, Nadia, Mimijin, this is I.
Recent happenings in Ghana's parliament during the election of a speaker convinces him even more.
Looking at the parliamentary members now and saying I'm call parliament election about speaker no near, you know. I say fine, most of them no much, but in the bimunsu ma and at the same time and so yes, this social distance. But already we are no more so bon on the omo na. Omankasa crown almost example we me say Arabia anyhow.
His friend Kobi agrees, only that he feels the pandemic is a fulfillment of a biblical prophecy.
The Bible can money at you woman. Say, I'm going to be a Nancy Dan Bessie, he answered Daniel Betsy. It wasn't a one. So I said, the answer, I said, a boy, a blaboy. They now say, living in Penfold Medium Crown. I'm coming sure example means as a Libya.
These are the signs of the end time. We just have to believe in God. Our leaders do not show us a good example to follow. I am yet to see anyone in the market infected.
Not even my story about two family friends dying from complications of a virus could convince them. Obo Edum and Nana Kobi are just two of many Ghanaians who still doubt the existence of a virus in Ghana. Adhering to the safety protocols for many is now a luxury. In commercial vehicles, you'll find all occupants without face masks.
Face mask, 1 city. Face mask, 1 city. No mask, 1 city. Nose mask, 1 city. 1 city, nose mask. It's been more than 15 minutes here hawking these nose masks at this bus terminal, and just one individual made a purchase. And meanwhile, many of the individuals who aboard these commercial vehicles are not wearing the mask.
Director of Public Health of the Ghana Health Service, Dr. Franklin Esidu Bequin, wants people to take personal responsibility.
COVID is not gone yet. The threat of COVID around us in terms of the US, the UK, and then the other European countries means that we are not out of the woods yet. So people should ensure that they are conforming to the safety protocols. They are ensuring that they have the safety physical distancing, and then we can be sure that we can be on top of COVID.
Member of the case management team at the Greater Accra Regional Hospital, Dr. Emmanuel Adipa, wants people like Obo and Kobi to adhere to the protocols because their statistics are grim.
So far from March till now, we've had about 36 deaths in Ridge Hospital alone. We are having more severe cases coming in to the hospital. And so the advice is to maintain the COVID-19 protocol.
Health experts are warning of another wave if the blatant disregard for the basic protocols continue. Komla Adum, TV3 News, Accra.
And as schools reopen fully after the COVID-19 break, Nana Ajiman Rekuburbe has been finding out preparations towards resumption of academic work.
Scenes from Makola show the urgency with which parents and students are rushing to purchase uniforms ahead of schools reopening. More than 150 people queued outside this fabric store despite cheaper alternatives on the market.
The fabric is of good quality. When we buy from here, it lasts for a long time. That's why we've all come to queue here.
While shopping continues, schools prepare for the returning students. Amongst the hardest hit have been private schools, with many institutions across the country collapsing. Here at Alpha Beta School in Dansoman, Director of Operations Dr. Naomi Ajipong elaborated on the pressures caused by COVID, as well as plans to best accommodate students upon return.
There haven't been many guidelines from the Ghana Education Service. So for private schools, we're really just having to do a lot of guesswork and trying to do a lot of research into how other countries have been managing this and, what measures we can put in place to make sure that the children are safe. We were able to quickly adapt, train our teachers, make sure they all had the equipment and the resources that they needed to be able to deliver virtually. So at Alpha Beta, we have been delivering virtually since March.
Dr. Ajipong also commented on the closure of private schools, as well as providing online and physical education in parallel.
We definitely think that the future is a combination of the two. Of course, right now, like I said, we're still in the middle of a pandemic. Our lessons are all going to be designed so they can be delivered either physically or virtually, for the pure reason that none of us know whether we will have to start or stop tomorrow. If there's an outbreak, children may have to stay home. So as a school, we are trying to make sure that we are prepared for that. It's been a difficult year for private businesses in general. Of course, some industries have been harder hit than others. One of the major challenges for private schools was being able to get enough money to pay our overheads because we didn't have any government support.
Though all education stakeholders prepare towards resumption of the classes, there is uncertainty over how long this would last following a surge in cases.
Let's now take you to Yaodonko in the Ayenswano district of the Eastern region, where students spend the entire COVID break helping their parents on the farm. 16-year-old Ellen Adobia of the local authority-based school, just like many other students in rural communities in our country, had no form of tuition via e-learning platforms. Kamla Adom again has the rest of the story.
Pupils in rural communities have been worst impacted by the school's shutdown due to the COVID-19 pandemic. Unlike their colleagues in the cities who had some access to online platforms, they spent the better part of the time helping their parents on the farm. One of them is 16-year-old junior high school 1 student, Ellen Edubia, who can barely express herself in the English language.
I helped my mother to make gari during the break.
She has no clue what e-learning platforms like the Ghana Learning TV, Edmodo, and the like are, but she misses sporting activities because she is an athlete for her school.
I am the same as in BS school. Now, I am excited to return to school so I could continue my sports and activities.
Salome Opare is Ellen Edubia's mother.
They helped me on the farm and also watched television. They also read their books sometimes.
She hopes for a bright future for her daughter.
I'm happy they are returning to school. Some of the children have even forgotten how to write their own names.
Former head teacher of a school, Fred Ohenilabi, believes the students like Ellen Edubia can catch up.
I worked with some teachers, and the teachers are still in the school. And I have believed that, and I hope with the commitment of that teacher and the other teachers, and then the relationship that we're having with the community and the opinion leaders, things will go on well.
The students here are ready to take another shot at education in the face of the obvious challenges. Komla Adum, TV3 News, Yaodonko, Eastern Region.
Meanwhile, educationist and consultant Anis Hafar has urged teachers to broaden their knowledge and change their style of teaching to be more efficient to fit the new curriculum introduced by the Education Ministry. He made the observation after a training workshop and retreat for teachers in Cape Coast.
Schools are resuming fully after almost 10 months of COVID break. With a long stay at home, stakeholders are bracing themselves for the new normal. Amidst the obvious challenges, the Ghana Education Service has changed the curriculum for the basic and senior high schools to meet the global trend. At the workshop, educationist and consultant Anis Hafar underscored the need for teachers to broaden their knowledge in new teaching methods.
What we are here now is to update the teachers in terms of what 21st century education really means, in terms of critical thinking, not as a paper work, but critical thinking for solving problems. The bigger issue for the new curriculum is that we want Ghana to progress economically. And we cannot progress economically on the back of theories, on the back of the academics. So what is it that we can do ourselves, starting from being small?
The headmaster of the Mfansipim Senior High School, Reverend Ebenezer Edu, encouraged school management to prepare and psych the minds of staff as schools reopen.
As teachers, professionals, we need to have control of our subject matter. We need to master the content. Not just that, having mastered the content, should be able to deliver the content to the students to achieve the desired goals. So I believe that as we begin fresh academic year, we need to be empowered. So this is aimed at preparing ourselves, trying to let us be aware that indeed we are in a new year. Students are coming, you must be prepared to receive them and to prepare also to give of our best as far as classroom delivery is concerned.
Meanwhile, the president, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, is expected to update the country in his 22nd address on measures taken against the spread of coronavirus. That will just be after the news. Meanwhile, in the president's 21st update, he announced the reopening of schools for all levels on January 15, 2021, after almost 10 months of closure. President Akufo-Addo also revealed that senior high school students in Form 2 and 3 will return to school tomorrow.
We're still staying on COVID-19, and the speed with which the coronavirus vaccine was found has raised concerns. However, a medical doctor based in the United States has debunked claims of any ulterior motive. In an interview with Natalie Fort, Dr. Estelle Jean said the prompt response reflects global progress made in health delivery.
Ordinarily, it would take between 5 and 10 years to fully develop a vaccine, but the coronavirus vaccine has been developed in less than a year. The speed in developing the Pfizer-BioNTech vaccines remains a concern to many. But medical doctor cardiologist based in the United States, Dr. Estelle Jean, says the speed at which the vaccine was developed shows the progress made in the health and IT sectors.
Part of the reasons both Pfizer and Moderna vaccines were able to be implemented in a shorter period is that we're using newer technology. So in particular for those two vaccines, they are using this technology called messenger RNA, which it's a new technology, and the benefit to that is that you're able to study it much quicker to implement the vaccines.
She further noted the delay in developing vaccines is usually as a result of regulatory and funding issues.
Normally, a lot of the regulatory issues or lack of funding would lead to sort of a typical vaccine being spread over a much longer period of time, typically years.
She called for increased sensitization to encourage people to get vaccinated.
This is really an important intervention for all of us with more conditions that make us at higher risk. So again, be it obesity, diabetes, high blood pressure, smoking, and age. Age is a big one.
According to the WHO, vaccination is among the most important developments in human health, saving as many as 3 million lives a year.
Let's bring you some story on technology. And Facebook has come under sharp criticisms from its users and tech experts following its newly introduced privacy policy for one of its subsidiaries, WhatsApp. In the view of users, the new policy to be rolled out from May 15 will enable their data to be misused without their consent.
According to critics, the new policy by WhatsApp owners, Facebook, gives it uncontrolled access to private information from all subscribers, including their names, contact details, status information, and even messages exchanged on the platform. These will then be shared with Facebook, making it possible to monitor, for example, bank account details, transactions, and even personal searches once they click agree to their new policy. For tech experts, this is not only dangerous but gives Facebook too much intrusion into the lives of subscribers. Joseph Kwe is a cybersecurity analyst with eCrime Bureau.
The whole policy boils down to the fact that WhatsApp says they want to share your data, right, with Facebook, which is the parent company of WhatsApp. And your data includes your contact information, status messages, all the things that you do on WhatsApp. They want to share it with Facebook. The only difference is now you can't opt out. So by February 8th, if you do not agree with their new privacy policy, you cannot use WhatsApp. Whereas in the past, you could say that, no, I don't agree, and you could continue using WhatsApp. So the option to opt out is the major difference now.
With over 2 billion subscribers and still growing, there are fears Facebook wants to further monetize the platform by accurately predicting subscriber interest and behavior to enable adverts to be targeted at them for profit. Based on trends on social media platforms over the new policy introduced by WhatsApp, Signal, another messaging app, seems to be the go-to choice among users because it protects their privacy and information shared. It requires only the phone number for registration, and that is it.
Oh, quite interesting that is. But until we have to take a break, and when we come back,
we'll tell you about how some Ghanaians trained in Cuba have held a vigil in remembrance of the late former President Jerry John Rawlings.
On the international front, a report about clashes between different ethnic groups in Sudan's western Darfur region, leaving some 48 people dead.
All students of Agri Memorial Senior High School. My school needed a facelift, and Deluxe acrylic paint came in
and did their magic, and wow, the school looks
the touch is simply classic.
The school environment is now conducive for us all to teach and learn.
After the painting, our colors are just phenomenal.
Exquisite, a conducive place to study now.
Proud to be an amazing.
You like your acrylic paints, you can't contest.
Help fight the spread of germs. Learn Lifebuoy's hand washing habits. Wash hands with soap or use an alcohol-based hand sanitizer. Together, let's help fight the spread of germs in Africa.
This advertisement has been vetted and approved by the FDA. Pepsodent introduces charcoal and lemon essence. The unique combination of natural essences whitens teeth naturally for you and family, because every smile matters.
I love football. Football can be a dirty game, on or off the pitch. Even when I'm trying to score at a party, stains find a way of tracking me down. But I don't worry at all, because I have Clean Soft. Use new Cleansoft 360 Deep Clean, a unique formula with active ingredients and enzymes that gets rid of all stubborn stains and leaves your clothes smelling wonderful.
Cleansoft, my favorite.
Cleansoft 360 Deep Clean, clean all.
Mama!
Me
And I can't stand it!
Just a moment. And now power, huh?
Yeah!
Oh yeah, Jack Macron no it's you cannot guess there. Hey yo, contumre. What okuni? Tomato sauce all only a baby. And a pasadine for box with salad here. Hey yo, stew and a jollofa. Na better one. That don't know it though. Up that. And a bowl of here. Oh, made to bunny a joa. Joanna Passway sauce. Check for you, sir. Oh, more tasty. And a big beans for the breakfast. Let's all a salad in the mouth. Oh, she. And a patuna. We can puffle. Let's all a salad in the mouth. Oh, taste good. And a pan on dairy creamer. 4 box with so kinsey. Oats. Na cremitino. Yo, and a spaghetti. Talia Poppy. Mansunin Sijadu Re. Nafa and a spaghetti the goo. Who and a Pataliano are you ready for watching on you with stew? So I am no so good.
Dem de Ruboy FDA Ashishum Ajatu.
Welcome back from the break. A vigil has been held in remembrance of the late former president Jerry John Rawlings. Organized by the Association of Ghanaians trained in Cuba, the group described the late statesman as one who lived for others, and so imploring the younger generation to learn from his ideals.
Present at the vigil was the family of the late former president, officials from the Cuban embassy, and former ambassadors of Ghana to Cuba, as well as sympathizers and well-wishers. Cuban ambassador to Ghana, Pedro Luis, recalled some of his moments with the late former president, describing him as an icon.
Young Ghanaians in Cuba who began to study from an early age, today they are women and men capable of contributing to the development of Ghana. I will never forget my first meeting with him, just a month after my arrival in Ghana. He was wearing a guayabera as a sign of his admiration for Cuba. One of the icons that can never be forgotten in the retelling of Ghana history is Flight Lieutenant Jerry John Rawlings.
First Ghanaian ambassador to Cuba, Godfrey Damo, charged the association to be the change envisaged by the late Jerry John Rawlings.
He was a man whom, if you got to know, lived for others. And so whenever one looks at what he managed to achieve and what he would have done more, it reminds me of a Hindu Swami, Swami Vivekananda, who said he who lives for himself is more dead than alive. But he who lives for others lives forever. I think our president, what I can say of him is that in his life he lived for others and did all the things which will help the country.
Daughter of the late president Mamiya Santuajiman Rawlings urged Ghanaians to unite in the interest of the country.
I ask for nothing less than a revolution, something that will transform the social and economic order of this country. Fellow citizens, it is now left to you to decide how this country is going to go from today. In other words, the people, the farmers, the police, the soldiers, the workers, you, the guardians, rich or poor, should be a part of the decision-making process of this country.
Burial of the late Jerry John Rawlings has been slated for January 27.
May so continue to rest in peace. Away from that, the La Youth Association has lauded government for releasing portions of land it acquired in the 1940s back to the owners. Spokesperson of the association, after an inspection, assured indigents the land will be used for the benefit of the entire community.
In the 1940s, government acquired over 5,000 acres of land for an aerodrome in Accra. This was given to government by the people of La close to the airport. Several years, government decided to hand the lands back to the people of La in 2020. This is what the people of La are grateful to the government for.
People of La, especially the youth, led by our chiefs, have been agitating for the release of the Plateau land. There was a tripartite committee that was formed, and it was made up of the traditional council from La, the Ministry of Lands, and then the Ghana Armed Forces, and they held a series of meetings. On the 7th of November 2020, the minister actually came out during their meeting and said that government has taken a decision, and the decision was that they have released the lands to the La people.
Hundreds of residents of La converged on the land to express their gratitude to government. They erected a billboard thanking government for handing over their property back to them. Spokesperson of the La Youth Association, Jeffrey Tete, said the Ministry of Lands had been made aware of the handing over.
And everybody understood that this belongs to La. Finally, after 6 years of agitation, we have what belongs to us. And so I don't think anybody will come misbehaving here.
The Ghana National Fire Service is scaling up outreach programs on fire safety following the recent market fires. The Malamata market here in Accra. Personnel were disappointed, however, after many of the traders failed to show up.
This is the Malamata market in the Ayawaso Central Municipality of the Greater Accra region. The market has never recorded any fire outbreak, but some traders fear they are all at risk since many of their colleagues are involved in illegal power connections, cooking, and other dangerous activities which predisposes them to imminent fire disaster. A program by the Ghana National Fire Service to train and educate the traders on fire safety precautions was not well attended.
No, I haven't heard anything. I don't hear anything. I just arrived.
For those that showed up, they were updated on how to prevent and control fire.
Fire safety is a shared responsibility. If you don't come and listen and we come and teach, then we have not done anything. So we need to convince them to come over to listen to what we have for them.
He added, the country recorded more fire outbreaks in 2020 compared to 2019.
In 2020, we recorded 5,967. And in 2019, we recorded 4,677. It means that there's been a surge. It has increased. And it is due to the attitude towards fire safety. But I believe that we can still do something about it.
He asked the general public to be cautious, particularly during the Harmattan.
Shortage of maize has hit parts of Accra as traders and individuals in the value chain are unable to access the commodity. Checks by reporter Maize revealed that the scarcity has caused a spike in prices as traders are beginning to hoard and sell at exorbitant prices.
President Akufo-Addo in his last State of the Nation's address mentioned that the effectiveness of his flagship Planting for Food and Jobs initiative has brought about abundance of food in the country. Few hours after his address, the minority raised concerns about the shortage of grains, especially maize, as they disagreed with the president's assertion of abundance of food. To be sure, the news team decided to visit major market centers in Accra to have an assessment of food supply.
I
use the maize for morikoko, obrayo, and ekwebemi. In less than 2 months, the price has shot from 2.5 to 3.5. Maize used to be less expensive, but it's now expensive because they claim they don't get enough. It has been so many years since Ghana became maize sufficient, but things are different now.
Head of Programs and Advocacy for the Peasant Farmers Association of Ghana, Charles Nyaba, explained that planting for food and jobs may have come as a support system, but has had its own flaws.
We got support from subsidized fertilizer and subsidized seeds as part of the planting for food and jobs. But production goes beyond just fertilizer and seeds, because farmers need at least credit to be able to cater for labor costs, to cater for plowing, to cater for post-harvest management activities. And giving only fertilizer and seeds will not address those problems.
The shortage of maize is a big deal not only for traders and consumers, but for poultry farmers who need the commodity as feed.
As we speak, the price of 100 kg of maize in Upper West is 200 Ghana cedis. You come to Upper East, the same thing. You go to Northern region, the same thing. In the transitional area, 120 kg of maize is going for 2.5. If you come to Accra, the price is getting 2.5. Because of that, poultry farmers have to increase the price of eggs and broilers, simply because maize prices are very high, and maize form a major component of raw material that poultry farmers need.
You're watching News 360 Live here on TV3. After the break, the very latest in sports comes up next.
You start off the year by stepping up with DSTV.
Things are about to get great.
Whoa, okay.
And that's important because
DSTV, they come give you more of the entertainment you and your family they like. So fasten your seatbelt. As DSTV take you go higher with more epic live soccer, exciting local drama, and best kids show.
That's a lot.
Yo. My people, all you for do be say, starting from 14th January to 31st March, upgrade your current DSTV package to the next one, and DSTV will bump you up to the one above that at no extra cost. It be that simple.
What?
Come on.
Oh, exciting.
Okay.
For example, let's say you have family. All you have to do is pay for Compact, and DSTV will give you Compact Plus at no extra cost.
This is a lot.
Yeah. Follow us with the hashtag DSTV Step Up for more, or call us on 0302 740 540. Terms and conditions apply.
Inner Supply 2-in-1 floor cleaner and a best sewer house. Ewa Modina Ekum, na a Santo Pampam, more kitwa, where we are from, Emma from the wine. Na enjoy feeling the Kaibia. Inner Supply floor cleaner no. Ninka Gumwa Hodwana, Wope Bambo Mapa, everyone more kitwa Hodia. G Inner Supply Africa D. Inner Supply na. No insect, no stress.
Hello viewers, I'm feeling very frustrated and bored in Sambu life. I'm very happy. If you don't understand, don't worry, because myself, I don't understand. We'll cross over to our senior reporter for more details.
You know, I'm learning to make a vlog. I'm not funny, I just said. Vodafone, I'm not quite set. Ultimate Sika do Topia, Emily do Topia, Echo all the network. I will check up there with Simon. Diamond for Kenny.
Fifia, Mateo said, don't you put charges man on me?
See, the excitement for me is that I get to save a lot on Vodafone cards.
Sending money on Vodafone cards to all networks is now free. Send any amount of money as many times as you like to all networks for free. Dial *110# now to send money.
Anyone for Massimo.
The future is exciting. Ready?
Sports segment is brought to you by Sasso Insecticide Spray and Coil.
Hello, good evening. Let's do some sports here on News 360. My name is Thierry Nyan, and we're starting in the Ghana Premier League, where the games that happened this weekend, were as eventful as you would love it. Of course, in the GPL match day 9. It all started on Friday with Inter Allies losing 2-0 to Accra Great Olympics. Libet Professionals also losing at home to Ebusina Drafts. And then on Sunday, the lot happened. Bicham United drawing 1-1 with Dreams FC. Elmina Sharks drawing 1-0 with King Faisal. And then Indiana Stars in Doma, 2-1 victory over Legon Cities, who are having an abysmal season thus far. Kerala United also winning massively in Nzima, 4-1 against Brekum Chelsea. Asante Kotoko winless against Wafa in Sugakope. And then Ashanti Gold also drawing 0-0 with Mediama Sporting Club, 2 giants in the GPL. Another giant in there is Accra Great Olympics, winning currently against 11 Wonders by 2-0. Hearts of Folk, that is. Now, Ghanaian midfielder Alfred Duncan has completed a move to Serie A side Cagliari from Fiorentina. Both clubs have announced the 27-year-old penned a 6-month loan deal with an option of a permanent move at the end of the spell. This season, Duncan has made only 4 appearances for Fiorentina, prompting his move away in his search for more playing time. How about this one that many expected but failed to live up to expectation? Manchester United stay top of the Premier League with a mediocre goalless stalemate against champions Liverpool at Anfield. Elsewhere, Tanga Ndombele scored a stunning goal as Tottenham got their top 4 challenge back on track with a comfortable victory against bottom of the table side, Sheffield United.
3. Here is Pogba. The shot, he's pretty dangerous from outside the area, and Andy Robertson's in and he scuffed it.
He one of Liverpool's better players, no doubt. Just doesn't quite get that.
And tries his luck. Drops for Robertson. It could be hit, it is.
As it comes over to Robertson, he's just a bit wild and leaning back.
Salah. Finally got...
Best outside.
It's a great ball from Shaqiri to Mane. And from...
Again, the finish part from
Shaqiri.
Through this period.